Hey Treasure Valley gardeners, how you doing? Today I'm here potting up my first patio pot, and it's a big one. This is a glazed pot. It has a couple of drainage holes in the bottom, and I've used it previous years. That's why there's something already growing in it. And I wanted to mention, the first time I used this pot, I filled the bottom third or so with old water bottles, old plastic pots, to take up a little bit of space in the bottom so that I didn't have to fill it completely with potting soil. This is a pretty common thing. If you're planting a pot that's quite deep, you can fill up the bottom third with these types of materials, and it really helps save on the expensive potting soil and also weight if you have to move the container around. So there is something growing in this already, and it's a clematis that I planted a couple years ago. I can't remember the variety, I looked for it, but I do know that it has a purpley blue flower midsummer, and it covers the obelisk really nicely. Other than that, I will be putting in new plants that I purchased this spring. I have 2 perennials and 5 annuals that I'll be putting in. But I wanted to start today by showing, with a pot that's this large, I typically just replenish the soil each year. So I've dug out a lot of the soil from last year, and I'll be putting in fresh soil all around the roots of the clematis and up to the level that I think the other plants need. So I'll do that now. I've got the new soil is the black gold from D&B. So I'll be adding that in and replenishing the soil. You just kind of put it around the roots. Get it to the level where you think some of the other plants will be ready to pop in. And then my next step is to add in a well-balanced, slow-release fertilizer. And I do this just because it gives the plants a really good start to the growing season. I will have to continue to fertilize throughout the season, but if I get this in there, they get a good start, I won't need to start fertilizing for another 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks. So I'll mix that in. This gives the clematis a good boost as well. I just kind of mix it throughout with my hands, nothing too fancy. I've chosen a mix of full sun and partial sun plants for this location, and that's because this pot is on my covered patio, so much of the day it's in full shade, but then in the afternoon around 3 p.m. it's in full sun, and it gets sun the rest of the day. This means when it's high summer, it gets really hot sun. So I basically am planting plants that really like full sun in the back and plants that like partial shade in the front. I think this selection will work well, and I'm going to plant them in the way that hopefully they'll get the exposure that they need. Okay, so everything is prepped now, and I'm going to start by adding 2 annual salvias. They're called Majesty Silver Blue, to the sides of the clematis. This pot is going to be viewed primarily from 3 sides, not so much the back, and the clematis is already planted towards the back of the pot. So I'm going to add these salvias to each side. They get about 20 inches tall. They like full sun, and they will bloom all season. I like the color of this salvia a lot, and I think it will add impact when the clematis starts blooming, and it also contrasts nicely with the color of the pot. And they'll get a fair amount taller, so I think that will also be a nice layering. Okay, so I have the salvia in, and next I'm going to be putting in 2 Calibrachoas by Proven Winters. These guys are called Tropical Sunrise. And I think they're going to look really great with the colors of this pot. They also contrast nicely with the salvia and the clematis when it comes into play. These guys like quite a bit of sun as well, so I'm going to pop them right beside the salvias. After that, I'm going to plant my center plant, and this is a heuchera called Forever Red. Heucheras typically are a partial sun plant. They actually, some of them also really like full shade, but I think this one will be okay. It will take some sun, and I'm going to plant it right in the front so it will be a little protected from the hottest sun that we get in the late afternoon and evening. After that, I'm going to pop in this really pretty grass. It's a Japanese forest grass. The botanical name is Hakanakloa macra areola, if you're looking for it. And I'm going to pop it on either side, on both sides of the heuchera. This also is a partial sun plant. I know it can take a little bit more sun though, so I think it will be fine in this spot. And again, it'll be protected a little bit. This was one plant, and when I brought it home, I divided it myself so that I could use it in two places in the pot. And honestly, I didn't have enough room for two of these. So by dividing it myself, I have one plant that will work in two places in my pot. And then finally, I will be putting in this Superbina by Proven Winters. It's called Royal Peachy King. I love this color, and I think it'll look really great with the pot as well. And it will go over on this sunny side, right behind the Japanese forest grass. Okay, so it's time to plant. Okay, so everything did fit into the pot, which is always a great thing. And now I'm just taking little handfuls of the potting soil and kind of situating everything exactly where I want it to be. Just kind of smoothing in little areas that might need more soil so that you get a pretty even soil level in your pot and there's no roots sticking out and nothing's buried really deeply. And keep in mind with these plants, if you want them to be sort of tilted back or forward or out, you can do that with your hands. When you plant them, just kind of put them in that orientation right when you plant them. Okay, after that, I'm going to be watering everything in, and basically that's it. So thanks for watching, everyone. And please leave any comments or questions down below the video. And also, if inclined, maybe leave a comment as to whether or not you'd like to see any more container garden videos. Thanks again. See you next time.